Well, Taylor Swift has stunned another sellout crowd at the MCG for her second Eras show in Australia. Tay-Tay aficionado Ayrton Woolley is there for us this morning. Ayrton fans weren't just packing out the inside of the stadium.
That's right, Sophie. It was absolutely packed here at the MCG last night. It all might be pretty calm now, but 96,000 inside the ground last night, the same as Friday, a world record for Taylor Swift. But thousands outside the ground who missed out on tickets. Police had urged during the week for those people to stay away, but I think that was always going to be a pretty unrealistic expectation. It was a great vibe here outside the ground last night. However, all of those fans singing along to Taylor Swift's hits, here is some of their reaction.
Because I couldn't get tickets. I tried it every day. I spent a lot of time trying for tickets.
It's infectious. The whole Tyler vibe is infectious. But we do it because these young girls couldn't get tickets.
As you can see there, those Taylor Swift fans certainly very excited last night. The third of those shows here at the MCG, of course, tonight. And while I might not be perhaps the target demographic for Taylor Swift, it's been difficult not to get caught up in what are we calling it, Swift mania, Sophie.
Who are you kidding? Aren't you already there early lining up ahead of the third concert?
Yeah, I might just miss out on tonight's concert, I reckon, but we'll see.
You've done very well. Thanks, Ayrton.
Well, as Taylor Swift mania sweeps across the country, searches for Airbnbs close to the stadiums have shot up by a staggering 300%.
Whoa. Today's Jack Hahn toured an Eras-themed house to find out why the host is surprising a family of unsuspecting Swifties.
Nestled in the heart of Sydney, the perfect place for a super Swiftie.
Hey, Jack, welcome. Come on in.
Meet Nicole McKenna. She has a huge surprise in store for a family flying to the harbour city from across the ditch for the Eras tour. Her listing would make any superfans' wildest dreams come true.
Well, we've got Taylor Swift greeting us here on the way in. That's pretty good, pretty lifelike.
I know, right?
We've got this awesome friendship bracelet little station. Explain to
So
us.
happy with this. So Taylor Swift is big on the whole friendship bracelet thing. I mean, a big part of Taylor is creating a community for young people, and so they exchange friendship bracelets. So we set this up so that our guests can fix bracelets that they might have, or they can make a new bracelet.
Also greeting the guests on arrival, sweet treats to help shake off any stress.
If you've had a long day of travelling, you'd love to see some donuts at the end of it, right?
I know, right? Is there anything better?
Yeah.
And so a friend of mine who is the best finder of anything that you'll ever meet sent me a note about these donuts, and I was like, okay, I have to have them for my guests. And so it's a company called Dr. Doe, who's a young couple, I think, with a business, and they've created these amazing donut packet where it's all the lyrics and the songs and the albums of the Eras tour. I mean, they're incredible.
Next on the tour of this Paddington pad, the master bedroom tucked away upstairs.
End of the night, we say goodnight to Tay-Tay
We do, sadly.
before jumping into bed. What do we have
Absolutely.
here?
So, Taylor is a cat person, and so this is linen with her two cats, Meredith and Olivia. But yeah, this is just a nice way for them to end the night and to continue with the theme.
What makes you want to go the extra mile for a guest like this?
You know, but I honestly want to go the extra mile for all of the guests if I can, but for the Taylor Swift people, we love Taylor Swift as a family, and I know that as a mother, I mean, having your kids excited about an artist, you want them to have the best possible time, and so this will give them the best possible time.
The mother of two missed out on the Reputation tour in 2018.
We did miss out on last one because unfortunately in 2018 I was diagnosed with leukemia, and we were meant to go to the show at the end of the year, but instead of going to Taylor Swift, I was having a bone marrow transplant. So when this concert came up, we were like, you know what? You don't know what happens in life, and so let's lean into the joy.
And spread some with this retreat.
You must be pretty proud of this listing. It's amazing, right?
So Nicole is what we would call a superstar amongst our hosts, and properties like this are exactly why people come to Airbnb. One, it's an extraordinary property, but what is so amazing is the personalised touches.
Have you seen the spike ahead of Taylor's concerts?
We have. So we would say Tay tourism, and it's expanded to tour tourism. But what we've seen in places like Melbourne, a 300% increase versus the week before the concert of people wanting to stay in Airbnbs. And likewise in Sydney, we've seen a 50% increase, and particularly in areas like Homebush, which is where the stadium is located.
All that is left for Nicole is just a few last-minute touch-ups, so the Taylor's version of this Airbnb listing is ready to surprise Swifties.
Like something out of their wildest dreams.
Oh my goodness. And I know how much of a fan Jack Hahn is too.
I
Loves
bet he
Taylor
is.
Swift. And no Swiftie parties in that Airbnb either.
No Swiftie parties,
I
no,
know
not in
what
an
they're
Airbnb.
No.
Thanks for your company. It is time now for our weekend checkup. Taylor Swift and friendship bracelets are very in right now, but there are some Swifties heading to the Eras Tour who are opting for a different accessory, earplugs.
Yes, and they're not alone, with plenty of music fans attending concerts and festivals making a pretty big effort to protect their hearing. Joining us for more, it's President of the New South Wales Australian Medical Association, Dr. Michael Bonning. Michael, good morning to you.
Morning.
Great to have you with us. How much damage can these concerts do to our hearing?
So we know that sustained high level, high volume music can actually lead to kind of the painless loss of hearing. That's one of the things that I think all young people, but anyone going to a concert worries about, is that all of this hearing loss is painless. And so the thing you end up noticing is it's harder to hear people, but also that thing called tinnitus, that ringing in your ears that really creeps up on people and can mean that it's, even in quiet environments, you're always hearing noise in your ears. So concerts especially, they're designed to let everyone hear the music. If you're someone who, is closer to the speakers, you're going to be someone who's getting a lot higher dose and above the kind of the recommended or above recommended levels, because the concert also goes for 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
So do earplugs make any difference?
They do, and they can. One of the ways we know all about all this is that musicians have worn earplugs for decades, and they are always surrounded by loud noise. They do it to protect their own hearing, because their own hearing is so important to being able to play music. So they're the ones doing it as well. And what we get from that, you can go all the way from the Bunnings pack of 100, which probably, if you're going to your first concert and that's what you want, is the most useful and appropriate, to people who are regular concert goers using the much more high-tech things like the loop earplugs, which allow more graduated noise through, but keep the overall decibel levels down.
Yeah, it might not be cool, but you should wear them.
You should. Yeah, absolutely. And look, the best thing you can do if you're a parent taking your kids, which lots are, to Taylor Swift, it's something to start on when kids have great hearing already. Is otherwise you end up in this situation where they've gone to a bunch of concerts by their 20s and they're already starting to have problems with tinnitus.
Or Malcolm Young from AC/DC, you can't hear a thing apparently.
No.
That's AC/DC though, isn't it?